Alright, let's start solving some radical equations this morning. So taking a look at this first example that we have here. If I want to go through and try to solve this, I have to isolate the part that has the, in this case, the fractional exponent. So in order to do that, one of the first things I need to do, I have to add 9 to both sides. So we'll go through, we'll add 9 to both sides, because again, like I said, I need to isolate the part that has this fractional exponent. So I'm going to get 3 times x minus 1, which is raised to the 1/3 power, is then going to equal 15. I still want to isolate what has the power here, so I don't want this 3 here. So let's just divide by 3. So I'll divide both sides by 3. Then I'm left with, in parentheses, x minus 1, which again is still raised to the 1/3 power. And then that's going to equal 5 for us. Alright, so up here, when we had minus 9, we added 9. Here we have 3 times this, so we divided by 3. So we kept doing the opposite operations. Well, here, since I have something raised to the 1/3 power, it's like taking the cube root. Well, the opposite of the cube root is to actually go through and then cube both sides. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to cube both sides. Nice thing about this is that when we go ahead and we have a power raised to a power, we multiply our exponents. Well, 3 times 1/3, that's just going to be 1. So I'm going to get x minus 1 is equal to, now I just need 5 times 5, which is 25, times another 5, which is 125. Alright, add 1 to both sides. And I'm going to get that x has to equal 126 in order for this to be true. So the exact same type of problem, we're just going to move over here. So then what would my first step be? Alright, so I want to isolate this. So my first step, I got to subtract 6 from both sides. So I get 2 times x minus 1, and that's to the 1/2 power this time, is equal to 6. Just like over here, I wanted to get the part that has the parentheses and the fractional exponent. This says 1/2. It's kind of hard to see at the moment. So let's go through and divide both sides by 2. And this 2 and this 2 are gone. I'm ending up with x minus 1 to the 1/2 power is equal to 3. 1/2 power is the same thing as going through and taking the square root. Opposite operation of taking the square root is to square. Whatever I do to one side, I also have to do to the other. So I'm going to end up with the x minus 1 again is equal to 3 squared, 9. Add 1 to both sides, and I get that x is equal to 10. Alright, so the process for these two are exactly the same. I'm going to go through, I'm going to try to get rid of these fractional exponents. So in this case, I ended up having to isolate the part in the parentheses with the fractional exponent. And the same thing over here. Once I was done with that, we were good to go. And we'll do a couple more examples in a minute.